Hey, welcome guys to the People's Mentors Podcast, episode 006. And today's word is lean, Lean. So again, welcome to the People's Mentors Podcast, where we mentor the people on real estate entrepreneurship and the mindset that you need to have. So again, this is episode 006. So here's a quote that I got from one of my favorite books, right? I have a lot of favorite books, but it's one of my favorites recently. The way to create something great is to create something simple. That's by Richard Koch, Koch. The 80-20 principle, the secret to achieving more with less. So that's the book of the week. Again, that's the 80-20 principle, the secret to achieving more with less. So let's talk about this word of the week, lean. Lean is an acronym for liberate, eliminate, automate the necessary. All right, so what do I mean by that? Well, oftentimes, right, us as business owners, as individuals, right, as real estate investors, we focus on getting more. Why? Because we think more is sexy, right? Wow, I have 72 rental units. Wow, I have $1 million portfolio. Wow, even though all these things are true, personally speaking, right, is it really something that we should be doing backflips over? Right? Because a person could have a 72 unit portfolio, but only 50% of the units are occupied, right? A person could have $1 million portfolio, but their amount of expenses in regard to repairs or the taxes can be through the roof to the point it's a negative cash flow, right? So don't get caught up in the acquisition, getting more. You got to be focused on the management, getting lean. Lean is pretty much doing more with less, 80-20 principle. So you might be thinking, well, what is that? I heard that before. Yeah, there was I think an economist, his name was Vilfredo Pareto, and he came up with the 80-20 principle or the Pareto principle, Pareto theory. All those words are synonymous. And one of the things he discovered being in Italy, that he had some pea pods, and he realized that 20% of the pea pods in his garden produce 80% of the crop. So it's kind of like you got to focus on what are the few that produce the more, the great. And it's so true, right? Even in your closet, you wear 20% of your clothes 80% of the time. Out of all the people you know that's stored up in your cell phone and your contacts, you contact 20% of all those contacts 80% of the time. So the reverse is true too. Pretty much 80% of the clothes in your closet, you wear 20% of the time. So like, why are you having all these excess clothes? Or 80% of the contacts in your phone, you reach out to 20% of the time. So why clutter your phone with all these unnecessary contacts? Focus on the necessary few. So the same is true with real estate investing, right? And that's one of the approaches that I began to take personally. Even though I'm an avid investor, I love to buy multiple properties, but if it's a property that's barely making cash flow, is on its last leg or its last nerves, or it gets on my last nerves, then that's probably a property I might want to cut so that I can get lean and just focus on a few properties that have produced me 80% of the cash flow that I'm looking to obtain. So more just sounds sexy, but having more of the unnecessary isn't sexy. It's messy. So get rid of the waste before obtaining more. Focus on effective management over acquisition. It's not that you need more clients if you're a business person, but how can you effectively manage the clients you currently have? That's one of the things that Rudy and I were talking about. How in the past, in regards to business with 100% Finance, we always focus on how can we get more clients. Maybe we could start a podcast, which we did. So we did think about more. Or maybe we can get more from Facebook groups. Maybe we do more events. But then we thought, you know what? Maybe we can just effectively manage the clients that we do have that produce 80% of the profits. Focus on those 20%. And that's what I recommend to you. So in regard to your daily lifestyle, you might have a lot of activities that you're pursuing, because some of you might be, and I'm not trying to throw any shade, somewhat all over the place, where you're like, oh, I do stock trading. Oh yeah, I produce music on the side too. Oh yeah, I used to do Forex. Oh yeah, I got a flip over here. I'm also wholesaling. I got this rental. You're all over. You're doing a little over. You're spreading yourself thin. It's not really about breadth of like how much different assets you can cover, but depth. Like what is one asset in which I can dive in and truly maximize it to the fullest. to do more with less, right? And by the way, guys, like real estate investing, I'm a real estate investor. It's simple, but it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy. Simple in the aspect that it's cash flow minus expenses, but it's not easy because you do have to follow a step-by-step process. So I want to make sure you have that process down packed. So I would say, guys, just to wrap up this episode for the podcast, really look at what you do day to day. Really look at your investments, your assets, and so forth, your relationships, your contacts, even the clothes in your closet, and just really just do some spring cleaning, so to speak, meaning what are the 20% of things that produce 80% of the value? And all that other 80%, cut it out, get rid of it, minimize it, eliminate it, right? Liberate yourself from all this excess and just focus on a few that produce many. All right, guys, so this is to your success. Continue to earn passively. If you guys are interested in acquiring multi-unit properties the right way to make sure that you do get some powerful cash flow, just make sure you go to our website, 100percentfinance.com, to learn more. All right, peace.